Hi, I'm K-Rothschild, kindergarten teacher at Friendship Valley Elementary. Today I'm going to show you how we build and represent numbers to 10 in kindergarten using a tool called the tens frame. Simply put, it's a frame that when all filled holds 10, 5 across the top and 5 across the bottom. And when we build numbers on the tens frame, we teach our kids that we always start with number 1 right here in the top left-hand corner. So I'm going to put 1, and I'm also going to take my number hearts, and I'm going to show the number 1 because it's important that kids connect the amount with the number representation. So for number 2, we put up our second one. And we want kids to know that every time we add a number, it's just 1 more than the previous number. So 2 is 1 more than 1. And again, I'm going to put up my number 2 so kids can see 2 and the number representation. I'm going to keep going this way all the way across until we get to 5. So 3, 4, and our last one, 5. So now we have our whole first row filled up. 5. And what we want kids to be able to do is understand that when we have that first row filled, it's 5. And they don't need to touch and count each one, but they know that the first row makes 5. And usually when kids come into kindergarten, they have some sense of numbers to 5, which is great because that's their foundation for building numbers to 10. So when we move on, we have our 5, and we're going to add 1 more to make 6. And we want kids to know that 5 and 1 more makes 6. They're using their knowledge of 5 to move on. And we're going to do the same thing with our 7. 5 and 2 more makes 7. Again, I'm going to keep going that way until I get all the way to 10. 8 and 9 and 10. So now I have my whole tens frame filled up. That's 5 and 5 to make 10. And again, eventually we want kids to be able to know that when the whole thing is filled, there's no reason to count, there's 10 altogether. So something we want our kids to be able to do with this is called supertize. Supertize is a fancy word for instant recognition. So let me show you what that means. Here's our 4 on our tens frame. We want students to be able to look at it and know that it's 4 right away without having to say 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be a strategy that they use at first, but eventually we want them to look at it and know that it's 4. Same thing when we get into the higher numbers, like 9. So we want kids to either be able to look at it and say 5 across the top and 4 on the bottom makes 9, or better yet, be able to look at the whole thing, see the 1 empty space, and know that, well, if it's all filled, I know it's 10, but 1 less must be 9. So 5 and 4 to make 9. Now, this is a tricky thing, and it takes many weeks of practice, but they do get it. That's why it's so important to be able to use this at home to support your child. And as you can see, this is a really important tool that we use all the time. One thing you can do at home, you can help your child draw a tens frame like this, and if you don't have magnets, which you might not, you can use anything around your house, like cereal, dried pasta, candy, anything to make it fun and exciting for them. As long as they have the concept that when it's all filled, it's 10, 5 on the top, and 5 on the bottom. I hope you find these strategies helpful. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching.